What's up guys, welcome back to more Reddit stories about entitled people, crazy people, and everything in between. Hope you're all doing wonderful today. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's get into it, friends. Telling my overly sheltered niece that Santa isn't real. My sister Ray, 42, was trying to have a kid for a long time, but struggled with infertility. After years of trying and money spent on fertility clinics, she finally had a miracle baby, Sue, a 12-year-old girl. Since Ray and her husband view Sue's existence as a miracle, they treat her as one. From the time she could vocalize what she wants, she got everything she wanted. As a result, Sue is kind of a nightmare. Whenever our family gets together, we have to do whatever she wants. We have to eat whatever she wants to eat, watch whatever movies she wants to watch, and we can't do anything outside, even though the rest of the family loves the outdoors, because Sue hates nature and will literally scream if she gets so much as a speck of dirt on her shoe. We had to stop doing Christmas together because she would throw tantrums if my kids got something she wanted. I keep telling Ray that she is only setting Sue up for failure by spoiling her. Sue has no friends at school because she doesn't understand that other kids aren't going to give her whatever she wants, because they don't see her as a miracle the way her parents do. She also has a bunch of mannerisms that other kids that age grew out of years ago. She still picks her nose in public, still whines and whimpers when things don't go her way, still shops at Justice, and still believes in Santa and the Easter Bunny. Ray won't listen to me, and says I should let kids be kids, ignoring the fact that Sue will be a teenager soon. Last weekend we were all gathered at my parents' house, and Sue was writing a letter to Santa like she did every year. Of course, it was pages and pages long, with a list of the most outrageous things a 12-year-old could think of. I wasn't planning on saying anything. I never do. But one day while Ray was away, Sue and my son, Finn, 9 years old, came running up to me. Sue clearly had been crying and Finn looked rather smug. They both asked me if Santa was real. Normally, Sue would never ask me to resolve issues, but her parents weren't there, and I wasn't going to coddle her the way her parents did. I said, Santa wasn't real. The minute Ray got home, Sue ran to her crying and screaming that I told her Santa wasn't real. Ray tried to calm her down and told her, of course Santa was real, and I was lying. When Ray put Sue down for a nap, yes, you read that right, she scolded me. She said I had no business trying to parent her child. I then told her that she wasn't parenting her child, so someone had to. Maybe the first step to self-awareness for her is learning Santa isn't real. I was hoping Ray would wake up and see the reality of the situation, but now she's just ignoring my texts and calls. When I told my husband about everything, he wasn't as supportive as I thought he would be. He agrees Sue is unbearable, but it's not my place to fix that, and what I did probably did more harm than good. Should I have just said Santa was real and not gotten involved in the situation? All things considered, they have much more important things to worry about than just the silly Santa topic. And even the fact that she hasn't figured it out on her own yet is kinda hilarious. And it's not like OP went out of their way to tell her that Santa isn't real. But all in all, I think it barely warrants discussion because it's not even a big deal, especially for someone that old. Because I do think, to an extent, for a younger child, that should be the parent's decision to tell them that. And telling someone else's younger kid in the right circumstances the truth can be a bit messed up. But in the case of being directly asked that by a 12-year-old, I don't think it's a big deal that you told the truth. My neighbor slashed my front door with a kitchen knife. My neighbor put up this Halloween decoration on his front door that produced the sound of a woman being murdered and screaming for 30 seconds straight anytime someone got near it. His door is right by the elevator. It went off multiple times a day. No word of lie, sometimes it would go off repeatedly for minutes at a time. The entire floor was complaining. People even decided to turn the decoration over so it would stop going off. I even asked him to take it down as it was a disruption to us who work from home. He said, oh well. I went to the front desk about it yesterday. I had to go back to them later on in the day because he was losing his crap in the hallway because someone turned it over. I mean literally screaming up and down the hallway. They said they had sent him a letter and spoke to him. He won't take it down, so they contacted their director and was waiting for a response. Today they went back to speak with him one last time. They had to call security because of how much he was threatening them and freaking out. So they left and were waiting for directions from their boss about what to do. I noticed today someone turned it over again. I ignored it and went to work. When I came back, it was back to playing it screaming. Then I hear him screaming in the hallway. I was on the phone from work, but I heard noises at my door. I hung up, looked out my peephole, and there he was, standing at my door with a large-ass kitchen knife, shaking and red in the face. Someone took his decoration. He assumed it was me and decided to destroy my front door. I called security and 911. Not only did he attack my door, but he did it to someone else's. He also decided to go to the front desk with his knife. The front desk got the okay to take the decoration. This dude went insane over it. Cops came and long story short, he had to leave today. He's currently gone, and they're giving him until Sunday to get his stuff out. I am so uneasy about being home. I know he's not here, but I'm still nervous. Cops said if they get a call again about him, he's going to jail. He is unhinged and I know he needs help, but this is way beyond what I expected. Unhinged is an understatement. For someone to get so worked up about a situation like this that they're going to go around and threaten people with a kitchen knife, they need some serious mental help. And it's honestly a bit shocking that the cops didn't arrest him already. You would think that this incident alone would be enough to warrant an arrest. And this comment here says, silly of him to advertise his personality outside his door. Lady thinks service animals are only for blind people. So let me start by saying my service animal is a 90-pound chocolate lab. He is a fully, inexpensively trained PTSD dog. Some of my service animal's tasks include checking corners ahead of me and watching my back in some situations, among other things. But these two tasks are the reason he does not need to be leashed, as the leash would inhibit him from performing his duties. I also do not require my service animal to wear a vest, as he was not trained to be working with a vest on. He has verbal commands which let him know when he is and is not working. So with all that being said, I walk Sailor, his name, probably 4 to 6 times a day. He comes to work with me, and sometimes at work he gets up to be a free boy and go play with some coworkers and they will take him on walks. I walk him up and down the main strip in my town, which has all the restaurants, clubs, shops, bars, etc. It goes directly to the beach, which I take him to every morning to watch the sunrise. Well, this morning we walked to the beach, and as you walk on the beach there is a sign that says, "No animals." The first time I moved here and saw this, I specifically called the police station non-emergency number to verify that service animals did not fall in this ban. They confirmed that service animals are allowed anywhere I am allowed. So this morning we are on the beach and I am throwing a ball with him while the sun comes up. This absolute Karen comes storming up to us, and I immediately recall Sailor back to my side. Off the jump, she starts with, "Dogs are not allowed on the beach. You need to leave right now and your dog needs to be on a leash at all times." I just calmly said that he was a service animal and he was exempt. This effing lunatic screams liar over and over while pointing at us. She said it like 6 times without a single response from me. Tells me service animals are for blind people who can't see. She then decides she will grab my dog by the collar and attempt to drag him off the beach. When she did this, I grabbed her ponytail and pulled her right down to the ground. A city beach employee saw the interaction and called for police. I calmly stayed there and police showed up a few minutes later to this lady, screaming that I assaulted her and my service animal isn't real. Cops separated us and got everyone's story. And the city employee beach person thankfully had a video that started on her third liar. Got her grabbing my dog, and then my elegant mess around and find out moment. The lady sees the guy took a video and lost her mind that her privacy was being violated, and she didn't consent to the video, etc. Typical Karen stuff. The police asked me what kind of services my dog provides to me, and I was happy to tell and show them some of his tasks and tasks in action. They were really cool about the whole situation. The police asked me if I wanted to press charges against her for touching my dog and intentionally interfering with his duties. I said no, it's fine. I just don't want it to happen again. This effing lady says, "If you come back here, I will do it again every time. That is not a real service animal." Then effing spits at me and my dog. The police at this point had enough and quickly started to attempt to detain her. She resisted. So they ended up arresting her for assault against me, the spitting, assaulting my dog and interfering with his duties, resisting arrest, and assaulting a law enforcement officer because she was hitting and kicking them while they attempted to arrest her. My response to "Will you watch my kids?" This past weekend, my boyfriend and I are tearing our roof apart, getting ready to put a new one on. Huge pain in the ass working up on a very steep pitch in sunny 90-degree weather, not a cloud in the sky. We are doing this ourselves because hired help is way too expensive. Plus, he has experience with this sort of thing when he worked in construction. Anyways, it's just the two of us, plus my mom on the ground running and grabbing tools for us as we need them. At about 1 o'clock, we are covered in filth and hot as hell. Shingles everywhere in the yard. Scaffolding and ladders up. Harnesses on. You get the picture. Any passing Joe can tell we are busy. And here comes a camper pulled by a U-Haul truck parking right on the side of the road in front of our neighbor. Bunch of kids and 2 adults pile out. We don't pay much attention. Not long after that, the woman waddles up to us and says, "Excuse me." I see her and walk over, and she says, "I was wondering if you might be able to keep an eye on my kids while I walk up to the convenience store to get a couple of things." What? Excuse me? I look where she points and see 2 kids, maybe 6 to 8, playing in the street, and another one around 10 to 11, hanging out of the camper. Now I'm flabbergasted here. You can clearly see we are working, for one thing, doing a very dangerous job. For any other, we don't know you. I completely blanked for a second, unable to comprehend the audacity this woman has. And I said, "We are really busy right now and I don't have time to stop to watch anyone." She responds with, "Oh please, I will be really quick." Okay, now I'm pissed. You're asking total strangers to watch your damn kids. I've never seen you before and you have no idea who we are. I could be a child-boiling witch with a bubbling cauldron in my kitchen. You don't know. So my smartass mouth kicked in before my brain did. I said, "Well, actually, I'm a registered sex offender and I'm not supposed to be around children." With that, I smirked and walked away, with an audible gasp from her as she hurried off to shuffle her kids back in the camper. That was probably the last thing she expected out of the mouth of another woman. Of course I'm not one, but I hope I got the point across. You don't trust the care of your children to total strangers, not for 1 minute. They're still there today. Looks like they're living out of the camper and the neighbor does not know them either. That is all for today, guys. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. As always, if you enjoyed, hit that like button, and of course, subscribe as well for more. Take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.